the previous class we have discussed about typhoid. There we have to mention one more name there. There's a lady by name Mary Mellon. She was a cook by profession. She was a cook in a small restaurant. And this lady by name Mary Mellon, she had this bacteria in her body, that is Salmonella typhi, which was later discovered. But she didn't have any symptoms. Such a patient is known as healthy carrier. Healthy carrier. We'll talk about this healthy carrier when again we talk about the immunity. So the patient who has a parasite or who has a pathogen but not showing any symptoms, such people or such patients are referred as healthy carrier. Like that, Mary Mellon. What was her name? Mary Mellon was a cook by profession, and she was the first woman who got infected with Salmonella typhi. And as she was a cook in a restaurant, right, she transmitted this disease to many people for several years. Then later, when this new disease was spreading in that area, so the medical officers and other people, when they investigated microbiology and all those things, they came to know that the spreading is through this female. Later, she was named as Typhoid Mary. What was her name? Her name was Mary Mellon. Later, when she was diagnosed as the first candidate to be got infected with the typhoid Salmonella typhi bacteria, her name was changed to Typhoid Mary. She infected many people for several years, for 1 or 2 years. Then this was discovered as a bacterial disease. Typhoid was named as Salmonella typhi. The disease, the fever was named as typhoid, and afterwards her name also was changed from Mary Mellon to Typhoid Mary. I hope it's clear. Now let's move on. This is the last class topic what we have discussed about the typhoid. Now let's move on to the next disease, common disease in human beings, that is pneumonia. Pneumonia, the second disease, most common disease in human beings as far as your syllabus is concerned. Second disease is pneumonia. It is a bacterial disease. What disease it is? A bacterial disease. It is also caused by different bacteria, right? And moreover, it is an airborne disease. Airborne disease. The disease, that infection that spreads through air or aerosols, the particles through sneezing, coughing, whatever the droplets that come out of the patient's mouth, aerosols, right? Small particles, right? Water droplets are through these, they are spread from one person to another person through air. Such a disease is what is known as airborne disease. In our previous class, in our previous disease, when we are talking about typhoid, we said that it is a foodborne disease. It is a waterborne disease because that disease spreads through contaminated food and water, whereas pneumonia is a bacterial disease. It is an airborne disease. What do you mean by that? It is spread through the air, through air. When a patient is there, he is sneezing, coughing, aerosols are coming, water droplets are coming. If those water droplets or those particles enter into others' body through respiration, that person will also get infected. So from the patient to the normal person, from infected person to normal person to healthy person, this disease spreads through air. Hence it is known as airborne disease. Airborne disease. Now let's move on to the causal organism. Then before that, and pneumonia is a respiratory disorder. What disorder? It's an infection of the upper respiratory system. It's a respiratory disorder. Or a respiratory disease because it affects the lungs. What are the common points about pneumonia? Pneumonia is a bacterial disease. Then pneumonia is an airborne disease. It spreads through air. Then the third point is pneumonia is a respiratory system. It affects the respiratory system, or we can say it is a respiratory disorder or it's a respiratory disease as it infects the respiratory organs. Now, the causal organism. What is the causal organism here? The bacteria Pneumococcus pneumoniae. Pneumococcus pneumoniae, or it is also caused by Diplococcus. Coccus refers to cocci bacteria. Diplococcus pneumoniae, or also Mycoplasma. You might have studied different organisms, Mycoplasma, Rickettsia, PPLOs, Pneumonia like organisms. So Mycoplasma pneumoniae, Haemophilus influenza, Haemophilus influenzae, bacteria, influenzae, Haemophilus influenzae. These are all the different bacteria. Which one? Pneumococcus pneumonia, Diplococcus pneumonia, Mycoplasma pneumonia, Haemophilus influenza, and also it is also caused by a virus known as adenoviruses. Adenoviruses. Though we told you that pneumonia is a bacterial disease, it is caused by different bacteria. Along with that, also one virus is also responsible for the occurrence of this disease. Fine, because this virus also affects the upper respiratory system. Hence, adenovirus also causes pneumonia. Apart from Pneumococcus pneumoniae, Diplococcus pneumoniae, Mycoplasma pneumoniae, Haemophilus influenza, and adenoviruses, all these organisms, these are bacteria, and this one adenoviruses or adeno group of viruses also causes pneumonia disease. Then move on to the mode of infection. Or we can say it as mode of transmission also. Or mode of infection through air. That's why we call this as airborne disease. How? Through the droplets, or we can say aerosols, through aerosols. The smaller particles are suspended in the air. Fine. Droplets, which are after sneezing or coughing the patient, these droplets come out. When these aerosols, these particles are the bacteria that are found present in the air, enters into other person, into a healthy person, that person also got infection with the pneumonia. He also get infected with the pneumonia. So he said mode of infection or mode of transmission is through airborne, by inhaling the droplets, by inhaling the aerosols. Right? So this is the mode of infection. Clear? Next, symptoms. Incubation period. Before symptoms, we'll go to incubation period. The incubation period of this bacteria, fine, clear, vary from 1 to 3 days. It enters today, after 1 day, or after 2 days, or even after 3rd day also of infection. First symptoms are seen in a patient. Right? Such a period, incubation period. The incubation period of Pneumococcus pneumonia, Diplococcus pneumonia, and others, right, is about 1 to 3 days. Right? After the infection of this bacteria, after 1 day, or up to maximum up to after 3 days, the symptoms are seen in a patient. So the incubation period will be between 1 to 3 days. Then symptoms. What are the symptoms here? Right? Accumulation of mucus. Accumulation of mucus. Where? In the alveoli of lungs. As I told you in the beginning itself, fine, that it is an infection of the upper respiratory system or upper respiratory organs. So blockage of lungs due to the excess accumulation, excess formation of mucus, and that blocks the alveoli of lungs. This leads to congestion. The second symptom, congestion. What is it? Congestion. What do you mean by that? Like difficulty in breathing. A person cannot breathe normally. He has problem. He has a difficulty. There is a blockage in his system, in the lungs, in the alveoli, in the nasal part, in the nose, because of the more excess formation of mucus. Due to this excess formation of mucus, alveoli of lungs are blocked. Fine. That leads to congestion, difficulty in breathing. Fine. Person is not comfortable. Fine. And then it also leads to wheezing sound. When a person is wheezing, when a person is breathing, heavy sound is expressed there. Heavy sound, fine, is formed. Heavy sound is produced, fine. Wheezing sound. Clear? So these are all the symptoms. These are all the symptoms of pneumonia. Main symptom is blockage of the alveoli and bronchi. Bronchioles in the lungs. Blockage of this thus leads to congestion, difficulty in breathing, difficulty in respiration, wheezing sound. These are all the symptoms of Pneumonia. Then we move on to preventive measures, prophylaxis, preventions. Preventions include personal hygiene, improved, better living conditions, maintaining cleanliness in and around the house, maintenance of cleanliness in and around the house, in your living place, cleanliness has to be maintained, personal hygiene, better living conditions, right? Using of tissues, right? Using of handkerchief. When a person is sneezing or coughing, you should see to it that this droplets, aerosols are not falling into others, right? So this what is known as better living conditions, using of sanitizers, tissues, right? Then maintenance of cleanliness, avoiding smoking, smoking inside the house or around the house, because this will block the lungs, this will weakens the respiratory system, reduces the immunity of the respiratory system. Thus, there are chances that these bacteria will infect such a person. So, avoiding of smoking itself causes lots of disorders, lots of diseases, even cancers. We'll talk about that in the upcoming topics. Right? Avoiding of smoking in the house or any other smoke in the house. All those things should be avoided. Clean air, neat air, right? And personal hygiene. These are all the preventive measures. Then, in the preventive measures, one more main thing is vaccination, right? Vaccination. I have told you in the previous class what is vaccination and when vaccination is given, how it is given, all those things we have discussed. Again, in detail we will discuss when we talk about the vaccines in the same chapter. So, vaccination is one more very important preventive measure of the pneumonia. Again, I repeat: personal hygiene, better living conditions, maintenance of cleanliness, avoiding of smoking inside the house or any other smoke in the house, and also vaccination. Clear? Then after that, preventive measures. Treatment. This, as I told you that this is a bacterial disease, hence it has to be treated with antibiotics. It has to be treated with antibiotics. Right? In the treatment, we come across very strong antibiotic, that is penicillin, chloramphenicol, penicillin, ampicillin. These are the different antibiotics that are taken to cure pneumonia. Penicillin, very strong antibiotic, the first antibiotic. Chloramphenicol also, ampicillin also, broad spectrum. These are the three antibiotics that are used for the treatment of pneumonia. Clear? Now, before we go on to the second topic, right? Pneumonia is a bacterial disease. It is an infection of the upper respiratory system. It is an airborne disease, right? It's an airborne disease. It's a bacterial disease. It spreads through air. It is an infection of, disorder of, or a disease of the respiratory system. Now, causal organism, right? Pneumococcus pneumoniae, bacteria. Diplococcus pneumoniae, Mycoplasma pneumoniae. Then Haemophilus influenzae, adenoviruses. These are all the causative agents of this disease, pneumonia. After that, mode of infection or mode of transmission through air, airborne disease. What disease? Airborne disease. It spreads through air, droplets, aerosols, right? Are the particles that are suspended in the air. When these particles enter into the body, into the respiratory system, along with that, if this bacteria, if this pathogen or causal organisms enter into the body, such a person get infected. So from infected person to healthy person to normal person, this disease is transmitted through air, airborne disease. After that, after the mode of transmission, incubation period, right? Incubation period ranges from 1 to 3 days. 1 to 3 days. Clear? Incubation period ranges from 1 to 3 days. After entering, for about maximum up to 3-4 days, this virus or this bacteria will be there in the body. After that, they show the symptoms. What are the symptoms? Accumulation of mucus. Then alveoli. In the alveoli and bronchi, wheezing. Preventive measures, personal hygiene, better living condition, maintenance of cleanliness, avoiding smoking, vaccination. In treatment, we come across three different antibiotics. That is, one is penicillin, chloramphenicol, and ampicillin. Is it clear? Okay. Next, we move on to the third disease. Next is common cold. Common cold, or it is also known as rhinitis. I have told you, itis, infection, rhinitis, inflammation. Common cold, as the name itself says that common, it is the most common disease in the world. First most common disease in the world, hence also named as common cold, or it is caused by rhinoviruses, hence it is known as rhinitis. You all very well know common cold is also the infection of the respiratory system. Fine. So it is also caused by, again, mode of transmission is same, airborne disease. So we will directly move on to the topic. Fine. Clear. Next, causal organism. Here, common cold virus. Clear. And rhinoviruses, and also by the very hot topic going on, by coronaviruses, group of viruses, coronavirus. Fine. We'll talk about this later if possible. Common cold virus, rhinovirus, hence it is also known as rhinitis. What is it known as? Rhinitis, because it is caused by rhinovirus. Then coronavirus. Clear? These are the three viruses which causes common cold. Then after that, mode of transmission or mode of infection. This is also airborne disease. Then also it transmits through sharing of handkerchiefs, right? Sharing of handkerchiefs, or touching, handling of door handles, computer mouse, fine. Sharing of pencils with your friends, with your classmates, fine. If one student has common cold, fine, he has used that pen or pencil, he might have taken in the mouth or somewhere, then he gives to you, you share that. So all these things, computer mouse, touching of door handles, right? Sharing of handkerchief or clothes, and through airborne disease, where you touch common things, railings, when you step up, when you go up, fine, you hold a support, are known as railing, that is known as railing. You hold this, particularly in hospitals or in public places, in gatherings, when you hold these railings or door handles, on those particles, these viruses will be there. Through those, this virus will enter into your body, or through air also enter into your body. So these are all the mode of infection, mode of transmission. Then incubation period, same again, 1 to 3 days. 1 to 3 days, clear. Then symptoms. What are the symptoms? You all very well know, because it's a common disease, common cold, fine. Running nose. Running nose refers to what? Fine. Clear. Nose, fine. You are getting more mucus, more fluid flowing of the nose is what is called as running nose. Burning eyes. Running nose, burning eyes. Very rhyming symptoms I have told you. Remember, running nose, burning eyes, clear, fine. Nasal discharge. Keep on fluid, liquid, keep on coming, fine, clear. Sneezing, fine. Headache, fine. Headache, uncomfortable, irritation. What is it? nobody feel comfortable when somebody has cold. Will he feel happy? Comfortable? No. Irritation. Got irritated. He get irritated because of cleaning nose repeatedly. So irritation, headache, sneezing, running nose, burning eyes, nasal discharge. Nasal discharge. These are all the main symptoms of the common cold. Moving on to preventive measures. Preventions. Again here, same thing. What? Personal hygiene. You can guess. What are the preventive measures? Personal hygiene. Avoiding touching of door handles, sharing or using common computer mouse, touching of railings, steps, fine, in the public places, fine. Personal hygiene, cleanliness habits, all the preventive measures. Treatment. As it is caused by group of viruses, that is common cold virus, rhinovirus and coronavirus, clear? Fine. There is no proper, no definite, no complete, no definite treatment regarding common cold. But what can be given? Antihistamines can be given as a part of the treatment, as a partial treatment, not a complete treatment. You also might be knowing, it's a common practice in our country where people go to medical shop, they say cold, fine, they get tablets, fine, that is like Citrus or Cetirizine, fine. These two tablets, fine, though they don't cure this, they don't block these viruses, but they try to reduce these symptoms, fine. There is no complete treatment for common cold or for any, most of the viral diseases don't have any complete cure, complete treatment. So classical example is again this common cold. You can take Citrus tablet or you can take Cetirizine tablet, but that induces sleep, fine, clear? So antihistamines. Why antihistamines? Because it is also caused by few allergens. Some people have dust allergy. Because of dust allergy, they get running nose. Some people have chalkboard allergy. Because of that, they show one of the symptoms as running nose, irritation, uncomfortableness. That all comes under common cold. So it is also caused by allergens. What do you mean by allergens? The agents which causes allergy are known as allergens. As the meaning says here, fine. Allergens. What is allergy? Hypersensitivity of the body, hypersensitivity of the immune system, overreaction, fine. More reaction, excess reaction of the immune system or the skin or the respiratory system is collectively what is known as allergy. Allergy is caused by allergens. Clear? So here preventive measure is better. Now I repeat. Common cold, it's also known as rhinitis. It's an upper respiratory disorder. It also spreads through air and other particles. Fine. So the causal organism is common cold virus, rhinoviruses, coronaviruses. Coronaviruses is a different coronavirus. Now what we have, COVID-19 is a totally different mutant form. So airborne disease. Fine. It spreads through air, sharing of clothes, handkerchiefs, common things, touching door handles, computer mouse, similar to that, railings, handles, all those things. And the incubation period will be 1 to 3 days. Symptoms are running nose, nasal discharge, burning eyes, sneezes, headache, irritation, uncomfortableness. Preventive measures includes personal hygiene, avoiding of touching the door handles, sharing of computer mouse. Clear? Then in treatment, what we have talked about, there is no complete treatment, no proper treatment. Fine. Antihistamines can be used because if it is caused by allergens. Now, to tell you about that, this cold remains in a person for about 3 to 7 days. Normally, naturally, without any treatment. These viruses will be there, fine, in the body of the person from 3 to 7 days. After that, the cycle will get completed. Slowly, the symptoms will go away. Then, normally, naturally, body immune system will only cure this common cold. But till 3 to 7 days, nobody can tolerate this because of all these uncomfortable, irritating symptoms. So we go for treatment. So by using antihistamines. I hope it's clear. Fine. We have discussed 2 diseases today. Fine. One is pneumonia and another is common cold. Fine. These are the simple diseases. Both are airborne diseases. Go through this. Repeatedly listen to the class. Fine. Repeatedly listen to the class. Make your own notes. I will be uploading these notes through a PDF format in this class only, after this class only. So good luck. Do take very good care of yourself. Keep studying. God bless you. Good luck. Take care.